First, I want to start off with my name is Burton, as y'all know that. I grew up here just for a little bit, but mostly in Minneapolis, New Jersey, Philly, Milwaukee. I moved here from Kansas City like two years ago or so. So I traveled a lot of places. I was able to move to a lot of places as I was coming up. My mom, she liked to move, so that was a blessing. I want to tell y'all this true story. This true story that really happened to this person that I know. And since it's true, and for privacy purposes, I want to change the name and just call the guy in the story Lil Homie. Is that cool if I call him Lil Homie? Alright, for sure. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, now, first of all, he grew up in not so good conditions. Many times I can recall him crying to me because a lot of places they lived was so infested with roaches that every time they ate cereal, they would have to take out the whole bag to look at it to make sure none was in the bag. And every time that they would put on their shoes, they would have to pick them up, knock them together, and turn them around just to make sure that none fell out. His family was on welfare, and many people called the area he was living in the hood. He had a loving mother, loving grandmother, and like many of the households nowadays in the hood, the little homie's dad wasn't around. He was absent. He wasn't nowhere to be found. Mom was on drugs. She was smoking crack. Only one can imagine the type of things that little homie grew up around. Watching people get shot. Big time drug dealer. He even witnessed his little brother, get hit by a car at the age of 8 by someone who was high on weed. Being that those were the type of things that he grew up seeing, despite the fact that he had dreams of owning his own business and doing good in life, at the age of 12 he began following these negative role models that he grew up around. Smoking drugs, kush, drinking, gangbanging, shooting big pistols, robbing and stealing, skipping school, having sex at an early age. Now, check this out though. Check this out. Check this out, right? There's more to the story. Not knowing that these would be the very same things that will cost him his life. Still hanging with the wrong crowd 2 years into his banging. So at age 14, 5 days after his birthday, he was lying on his bed at his mama's house trying to rest because they had just moved into their new house and he was exhausted. So he was tired. All he wanted was a little rest. As he looked out the corner of his eye, he noticed his friend, quote-unquote friend, walking into the room. But being that it was someone close to him, he didn't think to be alarmed. He didn't think he had to jump up or anything. But he thought wrong. As his homeboy came into the room, he put a gun to his back, boom, and shot him. He lost his kidney, his spleen, the tail of his pancreas, and not only that, he was paralyzed from the waist down. And when the person is paralyzed, there's absolutely no feeling whatsoever. Ain't none of that numbness and tingling and all that you get when your hand fall asleep or your leg fall asleep. Ain't none of that. Actually, when you're paralyzed for permanently, they consider that part to be dead. No life in it, no feeling whatsoever. It's like imagining this is part of you. It's unreal because you're seeing it, but you have no control over it. That's how I feel when you're paralyzed, right? This is everything that this guy telling me. Mind you, this is a true story. The doctors told him and his mom that he was actually dead upon arrival to the hospital and that they could not bring him back to life. But as the team of doctors was getting together which one was going to bring him to his mom, bring the news to his mom that her son was dead after being flatlined, one doctor went back in the room to get some charts for him, and all of a sudden his lifeline was back on. Praise God. Now after that, he was told that he'll never be able to regain the use of his legs again. And to make matters worse, 4 years later, the little homie got shot again, 2 more times. This time by his left lung and his heart at point-blank range by a relative who robbed him. So let me ask y'all this, do y'all feel that he was a fool for going back into that lifestyle after getting popped up the first time? Right? I mean, we would all say that, right? For choosing that. You would think that a change a person's lifestyle after being told through situations and similar things. I mean, he didn't listen to nobody. He didn't want to listen to his grandma. He didn't want to listen to his mom, his aunt, his uncle, the school teachers, the preachers, the pastor, all the older cats who was giving him advice and game on how to live his life the right way. I mean, the little homie ain't listened to nobody. He was hard-headed. Couldn't tell him nothing. His foolishness caused him over 8 straight years in prison. Had to watch his family grow up in pictures. That's crazy. Everybody leave you, forget about you like you don't even exist. He in prison. He ended up being homeless for months and sleeping in the car at the time when the heat index here in Atlanta reached 115, 120 degrees because of the humidity. Not only was he by himself, but he was with his 3-year-old daughter, homeless, sleeping in the car, while they bathed in sinks at the rest stops and washed with toilet paper. How many of y'all know what it's like to wash with toilet paper and try to dry up and the toilet paper keep rolling off and breaking off on you? Just imagine it trying to wash up like that. If you dry your hands with the toilet paper because ain't no paper towel, just imagine washing under your arms and washing your daughter like that. Man, the little homie, man, I don't know what to say. And despite being homeless with his daughter in a school at the time, he managed to continue to get straight A's while he's homeless now, mind you. And because he wasn't going to let being homeless stop him from achieving his dreams, he is now about to graduate from college. So, hold on. So the little homie ended up getting to know Jesus and getting his life right despite what everybody said he was or was not going to be. His mother has now been drug-free for 15 years. He has 3 beautiful daughters and just got married despite the fact that he was told that, number 1, he won't be able to walk again. Number 2, that he won't even have kids, that he can't have kids. He is involved in 3 different ministries at his church, and on top of everything, he started his own business that he dreamed about when he was a younger child. And now he goes and talks to people and let them know that despite how poor you are, how much money you have or don't have, how good of parents that you have or did not have, no matter what area you grew up in, no matter what people make fun of you, no matter what people say about you, no matter whatever happened to you in your life, no matter what you're going through, no matter how smart people say you are or not, no matter what the situation is, he lets people know that you can achieve your dreams. And by the way, real talk, the little homie was me. Now I just want to tell y'all that there's going to be times in your life when you're going to feel as if nobody understands what you're going through. Nobody understands what type of home you got to go back to. Nobody understands what you went through as a kid. You're going to feel all that. There are going to be times in your life when you feel like giving up on life. When you feel like throwing it in. And that dream that was put in you, you're going to feel like giving it up. You're going to feel like it'll never happen. There are going to be times in your life when you feel that if you don't do a certain thing or act a certain way, then you're going to be thought less of or you won't be cool. But if you just keep on believing, keep on pushing, keep on smiling, and most importantly, keep off of drugs and alcohol. That's my true story. Real talk. So I just want y'all to know that's all that's happened. I'm in perfect condition by by the grace of God, I'm blessed. That's all I can say. And I want to tell y'all that I didn't just go through those things because I was just acting foolish in life, but I went through those things for y'all. Real talk. I went through them things for y'all right here, for my kids that they said I'll never have. I stood over getting shot up because I had a couple dollars on me by a relative. The first time by a friend. Paralyzed in a wheelchair. Dead. Nothing would get me back to life. But one doctor went back in the room and all of a sudden the lifeline is back on. So the reason that I'm here is to tell y'all to keep your hope up. Keep on believing.